There we go. What's up, Hacksters? Happy Monday and happy May the 4th. As you may or may not be aware, it is Star Wars Day due to the whole May the 4th be with you. And we've got some cool projects for you to enjoy on that theme, as well as going forth and helping the world heal right now. So, first up, we have a series of projects from Brown Dog Gadgets. So we featured them recently with their Maker tape, which is a super flexible, thin, but durable conductive tape that is really wonderful for papercraft projects. And they've just released a number of projects called Straw Wars, where you use an LED attached to a piece of paper and a straw to create these laser or lightsaber effects that look really rad. Look at those blasters. Oh, and that TIE fighter, that's super cool. Anyway, you can find these on browndoggadgets.dozuki.com. We've got the link in the description below, and there are a ton of different designs, actually. Some of them are Star Wars, some of them are other things, but obviously you know which ones are our favorites. So here's one with an AT-AT, and you can see them putting it together in this little video. You can get download the templates, see the close-up images of how to actually put the thing together, and also the back of the card, which has the Maker tape on it. And you don't need to solder anything. The tape is Z-axis conductive, which means that it doesn't just conduct along the length and width of the tape, it also conducts through it, so that you can just overlap two pieces of tape to make a circuit connection, which is really cool. So that is project number one. I think that's really cool. I was talking to someone recently. I finally got my 3D printer running. It is a tiny 3D printer, unfortunately extremely small and also slow and bad in lots of different ways. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it's like many years out of date at this point. And I can't do some of these cool things, but it does make the cool stepper motor noises that you might be familiar with if you've been around a 3D printer before while it was operating, which sometimes it is like noises if it's doing like something circular, but then if it's like traversing a long space, depending on how many of the motors are going, each one of them has its own pitch depending on how fast it's moving and things like that. So people can actually tune these to create music, and to my great sadness, I'm unable to pipe the audio of this through to you, but I strongly advise that you check out the video. This is the oldest one I could find. It's from January 31st, 2012. And the Imperial March being played on a 3D printer with the stepper motors is the oldest example I remember of this art form. But since then, people have done all kinds of things. So on this one, which is a Prusa, they've got the two, you can see the two motors. Oh no, there's three, right? So let me see if I can indicate these to you. At the top left, there's one, and then another one at the top right, and those appear to be controlling the X and Y of the print bed. And then also, oh wait, no, one of them is the Z height of the print bed. I'm not totally familiar with the design of this printer, but anyway, we've got three stepper motors. There's a third one off to the left at the same height as the extruder head, which I believe is causing that to move side to side. So that gives you a three-part harmony if you can get them all to work together. And I think it's brilliant. People have done the same kind of idea. Oh yeah, I also linked below a description on how to do it from Megabyte. They have an actual G-code file that you can download and load into your own printer, which I think is pretty great. This person said that they were using mid2cnc.py from January 2011. So people have been up to this for ages. And this is always a popular one, I think, because it's got lots of bass and it sounds really good with this sort of like rough tones of the stepper motors. Like, it's great. It's great. You got to check it out. Someone's also done Vader's theme on a bank of floppy disk drives, which I love because they put them all down on the table here. You can see it's being controlled by what looks like a couple of Arduino Unos, and then you can see them all moving in concert, which is a little bit disconcerting. Like, even though you know that they're attached down to this surface and stuff, I should look up this quotation for you. Someone said once that, like, if you have three or more robots doing something, in tandem at the same time, then they look like they are dancing, or in this case, it looks like they're, marching together or whatever. And it adds that extra little sort of creepy spice to this Imperial March theme from Star Wars. And then we have what I think, this isn't strictly electronic, but I thought it was strange enough to share. Someone actually creates the rhythm of the Imperial March by drawing on paper with a pencil. And I'll let you watch that on your own to get the full effect. But the ingenuity of human beings is amazing. Like, we're so resourceful, and we come up with the strangest ideas, and we turn everything into music. Since we're on the subject of 3D printers, I thought that I'd give a quick refresher and update on some of the things that you can 3D print at home if you have a functioning 3D printer that isn't terrible, and if you want to help out, if it helps your psyche in some way to print things, protective equipment for local hospital workers in your area, other people who, vulnerable populations, anyone who needs protective gear. There's a ton of projects out there that you can create at home. The National Institute of Health have created this NIH 3D print exchange, which has several different prints, which is kind of cool. Look at this. The crystal structure of a beta-lactamase, a DNA complex, multi-purpose 3D printable mask adapter, all kinds of stuff. But some of my favorites on here are these ear savers for masks, which basically you put on the back of your head, and then you attach your mask to it so that it's not going to be like abrading against your ears. They got a ton of different projects like this. One of the main ones I've seen is this face shield model, which has undergone review in a clinical setting and has been found appropriate when fabricated with the printer type and materials specified. That's so cool. So they're actually having hospitals test these and sort of certify them so that they're actually useful. And here you've got an example where they're able to print multiple of them on a single print bed. This is being done with an Ultimaker S5. And they give you all the other parameters for it, like it's built with PLA, 30% infill, and printing 3 of these takes 7 hours and 31 minutes on their printer. So yeah, tons of in-depth info on that. Love it. Let's see. Oh, we have some comments. Fantastic. Jonathan says, hello from France. Hello, Jonathan. Jordan says, hello from Colombia. Hey, what's up? Some more examples. We have this Prusa face shield on prusaprinters.org that is also linked here. It's a different design than the previous one, but we've seen them being used in actual clinical settings. There's another version from 3D Werkstan, the 3D printed protective visor. So depending on the type of printer you have and what's easiest for you to work with and what type of materials you have, you could choose whichever model of these works best for you. Also, you can see which one the people you actually are trying to give these to actually want. So if you have a small or not super capable or slow printer, there are still some things that you can 3D print if you have the parameters dialed in. And this, for example, is a bias tape maker tool. It helps people make tape out of fabric for things like masks. That's on thingiverse.com. There's another one from the NIH 3D Print Exchange, which is this ear saver. We talked about that a minute ago. Helps people wearing masks all day not have their ears rubbed raw by them, which is very nice. And then there's some other ones that you don't have to 3D print. So this one is actually a laser cut one, which laser cuts in about 2 minutes, I think, and is made from a thin, clear plastic. Everything's made from the same material, so all you have to do is assemble it, and it packs flat so that you can create a bunch of them and easily store them in a small space, which I think has a number of benefits as well. Then we also have one that's just made from regular, I think this is made from document protectors, like clear binding covers for reports and things, but you turn them into face shields. And that's just done with things like zip ties. You don't need to 3D print anything. You don't need to laser cut anything. All you need is some bare materials. If you have your own ideas for how to 3D print engineer, otherwise build things, especially with electronics, you can join our COVID-19 Detect and Protect Challenge, which is ongoing. We've got an amazing crew of technology companies. Some of our faves are joining us on this mission. And you can, we've already got 1,200 participants, yay! And you have 56 more days to submit your own ideas and projects. We'd love to see more people participate in this. It's in collaboration with the United Nations, oh my goodness, development program. And we're really excited to be working with them. So please join. I would love to see more people submitting to this. But it's one of the coolest contests and the biggest challenges we've ever run. It's not really a contest. It's more just about creating ideas and projects and stuff. But anyway, it's a way for you to share your own ideas. And then also, thanks to Aj, our friend with the companion robots, I just heard about how the call is open for a virtual Maker Faire. Oh, pardon me, it was Angela Sheehan, actually, who pointed this out. Angela is also amazing, has built her own companion robot called Nova, and she pointed out that this call for makers is open for virtual Maker Faire happening on May 23rd. They also are featuring makers responding to COVID-19, but as far as I understand, it's open to any type of making as usual. So it's kind of awesome because we probably weren't going to get a Maker Faire in the Bay Area this year anyway, and now we get to have one virtually on the same weekend as usual. I was just thinking, like, oh, this year seems so non-stressful. And oh yeah, it's because usually around this time I'm freaking out about what I'm making for Maker Faire. Well, there goes that idea. I guess I'm going to be freaking out all over, but that's fine. I'm excited to see everyone virtually. So sign up for the virtual Maker Faire. That's going to be on May 23rd. Submit your ideas to the COVID-19 Detect and Protect Challenge. Check out all the links below for these, and don't forget to have some fun with Straw Wars, other paper craft devices you can build, and check out these YouTube videos just for a fun diversion. All kinds of cool creativity going on. Have a rad rest of your Monday. We'll catch you soon, and hack on. Well, let's see if there's any comments before I go. Just more hellos. Cool. See you guys.